Hello everyone, and welcome to some more horrific news. Alright, looks like we've got some Resident Evil development, so let's take a look. Zach Cregger to tackle Resident Evil Reboot, igniting bidding war. In what seems to have become the first major auction of the year, an intense bidding war is underway for the reboot of Resident Evil, the horror action movie franchise based on the popular video games. Cregger is attached to write and direct. Four studios are elbowing for the win, among them Warner Brothers and Netflix, according to sources. Stanton Film, which has held the screen rights to the title since the late 1990s and has been behind the previous movies, will produce the reboot, along with PlayStation Productions. Shay Hatton, who worked in John Wick Chapter 4 and Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead, is co-writing. The movies, six starring Mila Jovovich, plus one origin feature made during the pandemic, have been moneymakers, but Cregger is the reason studios are willing to shell out major money. Cregger was an actor and comedian who reinvented himself as a cutting-edge filmmaker with Barbarian, the 2022 cult hit that he wrote and directed. It also established him as a new voice in horror, and when he went out with his follow-up horror project, a bidding war erupted. The upcoming film, titled Weapons, was won by Warner's New Line division, and saw him become a Final Cut director. The horror movie has Josh Brolin and Julia Garner in its ensemble cast. The word on Weapons is that it's very strong and has been testing quite high, according to sources, and Warner's, which has not yet dated the movie, is likely doing everything it can to keep Cregger's in his talent fold. The filmmaker is also gearing up to release his first major film as a producer, the horror thriller Companion, which is receiving glowing reviews ahead of its January 31st opening, and the combination of Cregger paired with an established intellectual property is also likely to be something too tempting to pass up no matter the cost. Resident Evil movies, based on the Capcom video games, were a mix of horror, sci-fi, and action genres, and followed the adventures of a heroine who fights zombies and the Umbrella Corporation, the biowarfare company that let loose the monsters. The movies have grossed over 1.2 billion worldwide. Cregger's take is described by sources as a revamp that will take the title to its horror roots and be more faithful to the initial games, which date back to 1996. And that is it. Alright, very interesting. I hope they don't get stupid. Here's where it can go wrong. If they spend hundreds of millions on stupidity before even starting, the movies aren't going to do well. Now, as you know, Chris and I are covering the Resident Evil series. Resident Evil Afterlife's coming up pretty soon. The movies were a reasonable budget, I think less than 100 million each, and they've always pulled in profit up to this point anyway. We'll see when we get to the last couple. But if they start getting stupid, especially Warner Brothers cannot at the moment budget a movie to save their lives. So if they get stupid and spend loads of money, it's going to tank and they're going to ruin it. Now, I really liked Barbarian. That was a cool movie. Cameron and I covered that one, and it did really well with the misdirection. And I'll not spoil it, even though it's been out for a while. But what you see in the trailer is not what you get, and that's so refreshing because, as you know, we're bored with just seeing the trailer, knowing everything's going to happen in the movie, and you're not even invested. Weapons, I'm not familiar with. I've seen the trailer for Companion. Looks interesting, but it's already been done about 4 times. Megan, that one with what's her face, Megan Fox, Megan and Megan. God, you know, there's been a few of those movies out, so I don't know if it's just going to be a rehash of the same thing. But then again, if he pulls what he pulls with Barbarian, I don't see it being a problem. Capcom and PlayStation seem to be quite tight when it comes to Resident Evil, although they did do that shitty TV series, so I hope Netflix doesn't get anywhere near it. I couldn't even get past the first episode of that, so hope Netflix is the bidding war, so to speak. And yeah, it'll just be interesting to see what happens. Resident Evil's a good franchise, you can go a lot of places with it, and if they're going back to basics and maybe not worry on the flashy Hollywood type stuff, make it just an atmospheric horror, and it's more about the experiments and the Umbrella Corporation than the zombies. Would be in for a good show. But there you go. Let me know what you think. And until next time, keep up to date with the channel, do the type of things, and remember to keep it creepy, keep it horrific.